Right, everyone, so today I'm going to go over a replay between me and Danny. Playing Purrely and live twin Runick Spright, basically Schmidt list, but updated going second cards to include like duel and that sort of stuff for the new format. Right, so just going to sort of show off how good the Purrely deck actually is going second. It's pretty ridiculous. So Danny wins a roll, starts off. Tip here, basically, in the draw phase, just to play around draw. Good player. Banish top one. You also get to see what your opponent's playing if it was blind, but obviously we're not blind, but you know, just a little bit extra information. Blue into red, very standard combo line. Dispelling into Hugins. Here, tip for 2. There's definitely an argument to be made that you could search another fountain, but you know, like, there's nothing really worth discarding. You want to keep the draw because it's good in this format. So yeah, I think this is a totally fine line. Nothing wrong here. Resolving the draws. Overlaying gigantic standard stuff. Blue, jet, starter. Starter play around possible evenly. IP, pink, bring back the blue. I'm just skipping through this because it's really standard at this point. Blue bring back the red, and then we get to set the starter and set one flash and fire because you've got one in hand. You might as well set one. Maybe bluff it's an imperm, some sort of thing. Right now, so start playing this deck now. In the draw phase, this was literally just to play around draw, and obviously it's working really well because there is a draw. So this is good. I could have done it in the main phase, but these are going to activate their effects anyway, so you're going to resolve your talents anyway, and there isn't really that much advantage in activating the talents early, so you might as well just play it out. So we're going to do Sleepy into the Purrely, and then it has to be Snow 1, Purrely 2. Purrely resolves adding Delicious. You always want to get access to that. And the Snow resolves adding Snow because all Snow says is you can add one Dark World card. So you don't even, you don't even have to add anything other. Snow can search into Snow, so you just constant free discard fodder. And this is a lot better in the draw phase than like the Volcanic engine, so I quite like the Dark World engine. Just basically, what's good about this is you're just accruing monsters on the field, and you haven't used anything in hand because the Purrely's adding one. The Snow's replacing itself. So now I'll go for the Brow because I'm probably going to use one more into. I was going to use one into the Lily, but then, to be honest, I probably should have. It was probably a slight misplay. I probably should have used one of the quick plays to go into Lily to search my friend, but, new with the deck. So here, makes IP into Unchained. Personally, I think I would have made the Griffin, but it still loses to the talent, so it's still pretty rough. But yeah, so the Purrely resolves here to add my friend, which is always good into a board because of the out stuff. You can just play through it. Then we got so basically there, all I was doing was explaining what was going on because he was trying to flash and fire it, but then it was normaled, and I was just sort of explaining the different things I can do. So basically what happened here now is I resolved the Purrely to summon a Beauty with the idea of waiting for them to use the Kiss a Kill, then Beauty negate. Then use this Purrely to make this, and at this point I'm not really betting anything else, so I'm going to use the talents because he's just letting me do stuff here, so I'm just going to use the talents to force the issue. The thing about Flash and Fire here is you can't Flash and Fire your own Unchained Abomination, and there's not really much you can do and mean to play around it. I think the only way you could play around it was sort of as soon as you use the IP, like when the IP is resolved, then drop the starter, but then it's if you use that to play around the talents, but then the star would summon the carrot. Carrot would then tribute the pink to negate the talents, but then I could just Beauty negate it, so there's not really anything you can do here. So basically the plump's attaching it to it. discarding the brow. I don't get the brow search. And this obviously could have been a Purrely if I wasn't under draw, so I could have got the brow draw and the Purrely search. The plump was then going to add 2, and that forces out the freezing curses because you could just put the Noir on top and then it's unaffected, so you basically just win the game on the spot. And it was going to flash and fire, but obviously he didn't know, but I did hard draw the happy memory, which obviously protects it. So, you know, it could have been flash and fire, chain happy, then chain freezing. But yeah, this is quite a smart play. So stars into the red, which means that the red can negate something. It's just a little bit of pressure, but just at the end of the day, it just gets negated. Flash and fire, it doesn't really work because it can be saved, or I could just let it die and pop something. So it's so hard. Then you unchained, pop that, and then what I'm going to do in the min phase 2, which obviously I didn't realise at the time, detached, this is just him going back. This is all irrelevant. We've decided that it wasn't correct to slumber because you can't draw anyway. So what you can do is Beauty's Effect. You don't detach from it though, but I realised that in a little bit. So Beauty Effect, when it's equipped with Pre, you can send 1 card you control to the graveyard. So I chose the Unchained Abomination because he's only going to get it back anyway, because Taunt's only to the end of the turn. Took the fountain. You can't jerry it back. There's no fountain. I've got an Omni Negate. Well, not an Omni Negate. I've got a negate for the Pugin, so you're pretty much in a corner here. There's not really much you can do. Draw into the snow. Flash and fire, pop the Zeus. Effect here. And then the game's pretty much over because there's no second Gigantic. You try and make this, but you can't because you got the blue. A Gigantic there would have been good, because you could have popped something and then specialed out one with the remaining Runick card and sort of done a live twin combo and made it a bit more interesting, but you know, still pretty cooked. Here's just a standard problem you got with a live twin deck where you don't open live twins. Again, just sort of standard combos flying about here, but you know, it's not that much. Draws in the draw, which is pretty good. But again, I can just do all this in the draw phase, and now he's got monsters. I can use these ones because he's got cards on the field that I can choose. So yeah, so it's just the standard, the red negate here, rate that. Into the Purrely now, Purrely at the streets, so it can't be targeted. This protects against basically the live twin effects. So this forces out the live twins, because if he doesn't do this, it can't be negated anyway. So then Curry Cow is just huge, just absolutely huge. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And then basically try to figure out how to OTK, but I don't think I can. So I just do the standard plump line where you just make the huge plump. The plump dies due to flash and fire. It's got no protection on it, but then I've got 3 spells. So all you can do is you can just resolve Purrely, make another plump. Just change your mind a couple of times here. This is what testing's all about. But yeah, I think I got the right play in the end. Just to make the plump. Take 2 more materials. Attack over, hit for some big damage. End phase, bring back that. And then basically the reason why I admit defeat here is because he's only topping into the Leela. He's going to normal summon the Leela. I can just retribute off the plump. Leaves him on 1 card that's top decked. So, you know, it's pretty rough. But yeah, that's just the Purrely deck, just absolutely dominating. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned a bit about the Purrely deck. It's pretty good. And catch you later. Cheers.